Hey everyone, Ohio to your gozaimasu. Here in Sabae, walking around enjoying a truly brisk autumn morning. Stepped outside this morning, thought maybe I might need a hat and gloves, but no, just the right amount of chill in the air to put a little, what is it that they say, a little hitch in your giddy up. People say that? I feel like they do. Western New Yorkers say it anyway. Anyhow, I woke up this morning with the fires of revenge stoked extremely hot in my heart because on one side of me, my tiny Leo Palace mansion apartment, there's this guy who every weekend, well, at least for the past couple weekends, I've woken up pretty early, like 6:45 or something in the morning. Oh wow, that's an awesome house. I need to show you this. 6:45 or something in the morning, and he's just banging on his keyboard playing the theme from The Walking Dead, which I'm a fan of that show. Pause the story. Check out this old house. How freaking amazing is that, right? I'm gonna actually cross the road so I can give you guys a better picture, but and here's another really common thing, which I'm used to seeing farms back home because I come from like literally a place where the livestock is more numerous than the people living in my hometown. But look, it's really private garden back here, which is huge. Looks like daikon, some leeks. Across the street. Okay, so here's this house I was showing you before. Pretty cool, eh? So, anyway, actually one of the reasons why I came this way this morning with my cup of coffee dispensed by the percolation robot at 7-Eleven is because there are a lot of really cool, interesting historical spots, including the shrine here behind me that I can show off to you. So, ohayou gozaimasu. I just found out recently that Sabae has like a really high little lady, and I just looked back at each other at the exact same time, like, are we being watched by each other? There's another really small shrine on my way. This one is particularly small, and actually, like, some of the walls I'd look to be made out of glass or fiberglass or something, given a really strangely modern look. But anyway, yeah, Sabae has a really high, how should I say, population isn't quite the right word, let's go this way. Really high concentration of homes that have to be kept in a certain way because of their age, the type of homes they are. So they're kept as like, what would you call them? Like national cultural heritage sites, right? Or prefectural heritage sites at the very least. I know it's one of these houses I'm going to show you here in just a second. It's just, it's sort of like an extreme oversimplification to say, oh, these look like old samurai compounds, but when you see it here in just about 30 seconds, I think you'll have the same reaction. Hello, bamboo forest. So anyway, yes, as I was saying, it's really cool. People are out picking. Ohayou gozaimasu. People are out picking persimmons, kaki, and looks to be some mikan too. Some house tangerines, I think, or clementines. But anyhow, now we're passing this home, right? And you can see this wall on my right hand side. And tell me when you see this, you don't think like, you don't imagine like people walking around there with swords. Right? You can see inside here. I'm not going to stick my camera in for obvious reasons, but just, and it's huge. It truly, in every sense of the word, is a compound. Well, in at least some senses of the word. Excuse me. The autumn air is making me a little sniffle-whiffly. Go up this way? I sure can. Okay. And here we can get a good little bit, another view of this house with this old wooden paneling. This is, it's beautiful. But yes, to get back to the story at hand. Plans for revenge. On one side, I have this neighbor who's desperately trying to be like, if ever the recording dies on The Walking Dead, he's gonna be the guy they call, right? To re-record it. Because for whatever reason they don't have backups. But then on the other side of me, and saying this right now, oh wow. Sorry, just keep interrupting this, but like, not sure I'm doing this justice, but that's so beautiful. Just all those fallen leaves and that walkway. I'm a sap anyhow, is the moral of the story, but good lord. Get out the old handkerchief. Apologies. It's the problem with doing sort of these uncensored walk around videos is that if I need to wipe my nose, you guys have to see it, right? So, go man. But yeah, so on the other side of me there's this college kid who just won't shut the hell up. So like, this morning I'd planned to get up and actually hike. I was gonna do about a 12-mile hike this morning. With the getting up at about 4:30 with the point to be atop the mountain by sunrise so I could show you Sabae and pour out a cup of coffee as I showed you like the sunrise over the city, right? Anyway, long story short, couldn't do that because I couldn't actually get to sleep. Because this kid just won't shut the hell up. So instead of enacting my various plans for revenge involving fecal matter, only a couple of them really involve fecal matter, I am calmed by this beautiful morning, right? So let's get out of this park. I don't know if you can see here. You should be able to, but in this tree and the one above me, you can see there is quite a bit of yellow creeping into the trees, and then over there, not sure if we're too far away now, you can see there's a maple, Japanese maple that's got more of a burning look to it because it's just super red. Gotta love this season. Seems an apt time to again plug the Kyoto event here in a couple weeks. If you guys are going to be in Japan, please come to the Kyoto YouTube gathering on November 15th in Kyoto. It's going to be a beautiful, fun time filled with hopefully interesting conversation and delicious all-you-can-drink Guinness at a British pub for about 25 bones. So, bikurishita. Shit. Disturbed those dogs, and by doing so disturbed the woman in that house. So anyhow, let's talk about some Japanese. As you know, I talked about this in the last video. I started a Japanese vlogging channel. Not started, rebooted, resuscitated. Hit it with the old electrical pads. In hopes of, improving my speaking ability, because that's really been problematic and it's frustrating. And so what I have done, good or bad, is, well, definitely good. Definitely good. Oh, good. This is awesome. I can show you guys. Continue your tail in a minute. Behold. Persimmons. These are wild persimmons, which is cool because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and now when you buy, the only kind of persimmons you can get in the store are genetically modified to have the stone They don't have the stone in them anymore, and the flavor is different. So anyhow, no need to make this a video about the evils of things. Japanese. I'm now taking 6 hours of Japanese classes every weekend, which so far has proven to be really like intense and in a way kind of like soul shattering. Because what that means is that on Saturdays I work from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. and then from not 6 a.m. 6 p.m. and then from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I'm in Japanese class. Sundays aren't bad because I have the whole day off, and then at night I can go to my class, but anyway, it's been tough on Saturdays. But I mean, I want to do it right. I want to speak. I'm tired of not being able to adequately express my feelings, or you know, it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. And and I'm just impatient. This is a problem, of course, but I was at class this past Saturday, and I was so, I think trounced is the right word, but I went through, we were doing a grammar test, and I was just like getting shit wrong left and right, and it was just so incredibly embarrassing, right? And of course my Japanese teacher doesn't care. She's like, okay, well, we're doing this so that we know what we need to fix so that you don't have to be embarrassed, but that's just not my personality. For me, I'm getting it wrong. Question after question, I feel my blood pressure going up, and I'm just like, okay, you know, time to work even harder, even harder, even harder. So, if you're interested, going forward from today, connected to my Japanese YouTube channel will be a language Tumblr. It's not a Tumblr about language, but it's going to be a blog in Japanese. The title of which is "Kore de ii no," which I found to be fitting. I'll leave the address in the description of this video too, just on this video, and that way maybe if you guys are studying, or if you are a better Japanese speaker than I am, you know, we can help each other out. Yeah, community. So oh, good lord. Just walk behind this supermarket, and I definitely walked behind like their seafood section where a fan was blowing out the stank of 1,000 shattered fish bodies. Gonna be a beautiful morning. Alright, let's kill the dead air here. I'm gonna go show you guys this restaurant. But Charlie, you ask, what is there to show from the outside of a restaurant? Well, I'll tell you, dear friends. I shall tell you a tale of international intrigue and mixing of flavors and cultures. Maybe you'll still be disappointed, I don't know. But anyway, here we are at, this is called Europa-ken. This is sort of like one of Sabae or Fukui's, I suppose more accurately. It's one of these, anyway, the region's name foods, right? One of the things that it's famous for. They're famous for sauce katsudon, right? Katsudon that's served with like a special kind of sour, altogether delicious brown sauce over the top. The name Europa, right? Europe. It gets that name because the founder of these shops went to, I wonder if this is recording. Yes, okay. Is this camera on? That's been a while. Yeah, the founder of these restaurants went to Germany in search of new flavors, right? In search of new flavors to use in his cooking. And what he found were these sort of sweet and acidic flavors of German cuisine, right? So what sets that flavor apart then is the use of vinegar, let's see what else, caraway seed, and cloves and cinnamon like that, which aren't typically found in, you know, many Japanese foods, as you might imagine. So anyway, the point of all this is, if you find yourself in Sabae or Fukui and you're wondering, okay, well, is there a local dish that I should try and eat? The answer is yes. Go to Europa Ken, either here in Sabae City or Fukui City. You won't be disappointed. It's a pretty cheap meal. You can get a nice big bowl of a nice big donburi, right, with this specialized katsu and pretty nice serving of rice for like 1,000 yen. It's worth your cash. It's worth your cash money. So, you know, I'm hoping to get to the there's like a friendship park up here a little ways next to local baseball field, but per the rules of this of one Cuppa, this ongoing series here, I have to finish the video when my Cuppa is gone, right? It's supposed to, the video is the duration of one cup of poison. But anyhow, let's see if we can get there without being killed by very confused locals. It's one thing to be a foreigner. It's another thing to be a foreigner carrying around a video camera talking to yourself. Words to live by. T-shirt people. Just a little girl sitting there on the stoop waiting for her family to go on a trip or something, and she's looking at the ground, right? Looking at the ground, minding her own business, kicking her feet, just singing to herself, and then just sort of something dawns on her, right? There's a dark presence, and her feet stop kicking. She stops humming. Ohayou gozaimasu. And her eyes shift from the ground like this, right? And she looks directly at me and they go wide, and suddenly she realizes there's a monster in her midst. Ridiculous, I know. Okay, I think we'll be okay getting to this park. Hopefully I can walk through there a little ways and I can show you guys the beginning of Koyo. Koyo being the changing of the leaves, right? In Sabae, the peak season is middle of October to middle of October to middle of November. Of course, that changes depending on where in the country you are. The south, it's going to be a little bit later. Something we're taking advantage of for the Kyoto meetup here in a couple weeks. Shameless plug. Excuse me. This week is pretty exciting. So as I think I've made abundantly clear on this channel, my job here, my day-to-day is I'm an English teacher, right? And 99% of my students are young children, which is something that is fantastic. And also something I feel like I should talk about a little bit. Maybe I'll turn this into another video, but anyway, we'll talk about the children. There's something I need to talk about with the kids in a different video. But recently I got my first adult student, and I wasn't really sure, to be honest with you, how that was going to go, because, you know, of course it's quite a different thing to teach children versus adults. But teaching my adult student, it's been so incredibly rewarding and really, really helpful, because as with many people, I understand rules of English, but I don't know what they're called. I wouldn't have, I should say, known how to describe what happens when you pair a couple of vowels, or when you put a couple consonants together and their sounds change, for example, consonant digraphs, right? And so that has been a really awesome thing, really awesome part of teaching an adult, is sort of strengthening the understanding of my own language, which is really cool. But that's not what I want to talk about. This week, I'm beginning a creative writing class, teaching one. Ooh, there's a little side street, it goes towards woods. I want to go to there. Something that I found, I don't know if any of you guys are teachers out there, maybe this is an idea, especially around the holidays, be that Halloween, Christmas, or whatever. It's a really, really good idea to write like a really simple short story for your kids. 5 sentences, 6 sentences, something like that. That's themed for the holiday. Right, so I wrote, mine was called The Cat with a Taste for Blood, about the cat that ate my finger and then got away, so now I only have 9 fingers. It's a ridiculous story. Not gonna win any Pulitzers. But it was funny and the kids loved it. And these are like teen kids, right? Which teen kids are annoying because they're just like, I don't want to do things. But anyhow, so if you do this, whoa, Shiroyama Shinja. Never been here before. Welcome to the White Mountain Shrine. This is funny. Do I have to climb? I'm fat. No. But yeah, so you write these stories, then you have your kids write their stories, and what I found is that these kids, the older kids, I keep calling them kids like they're small children, but these young adults, I suppose, is more apt. I have never seen kids bloom in such a way as when they're given an assignment that's not like, okay, use like these 3 things that you've studied for, right? That you've studied for ad nauseum. Like, just do what comes naturally to you. And to see them open up. Oh wow, the sun. Beautiful. Peeking through the trees up here. Man, what a find. What a find. I can't express how happy I am to be in the woods right now. But just to see them, like, it's almost like they see possibilities, right? Where they aren't being held to any sort of exacting testing standards. They're just writing a story about anything they want. The only criteria are that it has to be at least 5 sentences long. So you get like these really interesting stories about these dancing pumpkin men, or about these vampiric babies, like, and it's this beautiful thing, and I've never been so proud as a teacher, I think, as sort of watching that light come on. So anyhow, something to try. And then to make it actually like a learning experience, of course, afterwards you can take those stories and say, okay, let's talk about some of the grammar problems in these stories, right? So then you're not only giving them something fun, you're also teaching them something. Good Lord. Talking and climbing. Who knew? But the point of this is that starting this week, because of the success of these exercises, my adult students, my young adults to actual adult students, are going to be studying creative writing. Okay, this way. And I am so excited. I am so excited. That's been like, it's something I've wanted to do, right? And part of it, a large part of it perhaps, is ego, right? Like, these kids know that my other thing is writing, but I've never been able to show that off to them before. And it's hard to explain, I guess, if you're not a teacher in any capacity, but like, you get to this point where you so badly want to impress your kids. You know, they want, I mean, of course, my goal should be and is to teach them and to fulfill the parameters of my contract, right? To honor my contract, but I've made a terrible mistake. But, as I've said before, it becomes so much more than that, of course, and good Lord. This is the way to the top. And yeah, you find yourself really wanting to make your children proud. They're not my children, but I didn't make them, right? The fun part or the hard part didn't have anything to do with that. But, and this is something, this is going to be a really long one today, guys. I just want you to know. Sorry about that. But, and it's something I didn't really get until the other day, when one of my classes was canceled, and so I had time to sit with this other student who came really, really early. I had time just to sit with her, and we had sushi, and we talked, and we played Tsum Tsum, Disney Tsum Tsum on my phone, and maybe until then I didn't understand just what like a big role I play in the lives of these kids. And anyway, at the risk of becoming even more rambly, I guess I'll end that by saying that. So this is, hello other trail. I want to go to there. It's an opportunity for me not only to sort of foster this love that these kids have shown for teaching, writing, excuse me, but also for me to make my kids proud, right? So anyway, sappy moment. Sappy moment out of the way. I'm trying to bend the rules here of this video and take this cup real slow because I want to get to the top of this here mountain, this montaña, and show you guys the view from up here, but I can, of course, if we finish the cup, because that's against the rules, guys, and this is Japan, and you gotta follow the rules. Oh. I don't know about you guys, but oftentimes, the silence of the woods, when all you hear is the chip chirping. Oh, this is the top, it would seem. Anticlimactic. Just a touch. Spider webs. This is not the top, in fact. But the thing that I found about... Oh, what the hell am I talking about? Spider webs have thrown off my game. Rules. Oh, I was just about to talk about Halloween. Of course, this coming weekend is Halloween, which is something that I've been sort of racking my brain over because I've been trying to find out something that I could do that would be unique. And I have it down, recording the videos today, so I hope you guys like it. It's gonna be kind of slapsticky, I guess. Sticky, what a word. Both those videos will be up on Halloween, but I do want to draw your attention to Shivers in Japan, who, if you follow her on Twitter, has the most freaking amazing Halloween costume. She made hooves, alright? She made freaking hooves and horns for her head. She looks like a freaking demon and it's awesome. You need to check it out. So, anyway guys, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep my promise here, and I feel like I'm rambling, and I don't want this to be too rambly of a video. People are like, oh my god, shut up. We're not watching this anymore. But if over this next crest doesn't bring us to the top, we're gonna polish off this coffee and call it a day. A morning, I suppose. On my other channel, the Burrow with the wonderful Wikipedia, it's gonna promote this here too, I suppose, because there's so many more people on this channel than on that channel right now. We're gonna be kicking off. Ooh, what are you? Kicking off in just about a week. NaNoWriMo, right? National Novel Writing Month. If you guys are gonna be doing that, please head over to that channel and go through it with us. It's gonna be madness. Okay guys, I think we found success. And a really creepy line of Trevik statues. Look it. Look it. Creepy, right? Top is this way. Yeah, it's gonna be a while yet for the top, so anyway guys, thanks as always for joining. That ends our one cuppa. Thanks for your support on these videos. I'm glad you guys have been having so much fun with them, as have I. It's a really good chance to sort of talk, right? And you know me, I love to talk, just watch my live streams. But if you have anything to say, any comments to any of the things we talked about today, from NaNoWriMo to that connection to kids, to wanting to make people proud, and whatever else I talked about. It's been a long time, you know, I've been rambling for a long time here, so I've forgotten a lot. Please let me know in the comments below. And got a couple more videos coming this week, guys, so please check those out, and I'll see you very soon indeed. Cheers.